So, compared to the states,
Uh-huh.
what's the ratio of doctors to patients like in your hospital
Well,
compared to there?
well, okay, so we have, at the moment, we have two doctors. We have Dr. Kando, and then there's another doctor who's about to join us, Rashid Koni. When I come back, we'll have three doctors. We might wind up with one of our other doctors who was doing OBGYN training or waiting to see about that. But we're looking at a catchment area of at least, I'd say 95,000 within our district. And if you say the 20 or 30,000 across the river in Togo, you're talking about 120,000. So if you do the math, if you've got two doctors, that's 60,000 to one. If you
Yeah.
do three doctors, that's 40,000 to one. And if we are so blessed that we get four doctors, that's still 30,000 people per doctor, which
Wow.
is quite a bit different from the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. But even in the hospital itself, how many beds do you have that you have there at the hospital?
We have 134 beds.
Okay.
We do have also, I forgot to mention, we do also have a mental health unit, but unfortunately, we don't do inpatient mental health. If somebody really, really, really needs something complicated, then we have to refer them to our regional hospital because we're just not equipped to take care of that kind of problem.
Right. So where you are, I know electricity is sometimes a challenge. Talk to me a little bit about the basic things that are different from what you're experiencing than what you'd experience here if you were doing
Well,
medical care.
electricity. Bob, you want to tell them?
Our electricity can go off 10, 15 times a day, or maybe it'll stay on all day or maybe 6 hours, but it goes off, comes back on. They call it dumso, off, on, off, on.
In Chui, which is one of the major languages, Doom Kanino means to turn off the lights. Sot Kanino means to turn it on. So Doomso means it's just going off and on, off and on, off and on.
But the government said it's load sharing.
Yeah, well, the
Oh.
government, I mean,
You are.
politicians have all kinds of explanations. The good thing is we do have a backup, a standby
Okay.
generator. The bad thing is that, of course, the cost of fuel keeps going up, and another problem too is when you have this thing going off and on and off and on and off and on. Sometimes you have power surges when we go back on the national grid. Well, unfortunately, power surges are very hard on electrical equipment,
Yes.
such as refrigerators, televisions, computers, etc. And while we do try and have, one of the things you have to buy in Ghana, even just for your house, is you have to buy what they call voltage stabilizers or voltage regulators. And you have to, but even those that to help regulate so the electricity stays constant. Unfortunately, if you get a really horrible power surge, then that zit you just heard was your voltage regulator dying. Yeah, so it can be pretty frustrating sometimes. But at least we do have electricity. This is a lot better. And I just talked to somebody the other day. They said that somehow the electricity in Saboba now has stabilized a bit.
Huh.
Yeah. We're hoping this lasts. That's all we can say. We hope it lasts.
We
Compared to what
are
it was
hooked
before.
up so that if the electricity goes off and the hospital generator comes on, then we can throw the switch and we'll be
At
on
our
the job.
house.
At
At our house. But
But
bless it.
sometimes it's my phase. So what I even have another generator
Right.
where I switched cables around so we can run the house.
So in the
on.
middle of surgery or something, this can
Oh,
happen,
that's
and
bad.
that's
Yeah.
hard.
Well, yes. And how bad did it used to get? Well, so there was one time, one Sunday morning several years ago, I had 3 C-sections I had to do. The electricity was on, and just as I got into the very critical part where I had the uterus open, I had my hand on the baby's head, the lights went off. We had to use flashlights, which the Ghanaians would call torches, but that's the British term. And they shone the torches, and I was able to deliver the baby and sew up the lady. The second C-section, we moved our little petrol generator from our house over to the hospital. And we ran the lights in the operating room from that. The third C-section, the electricity finally came back and we were able to do it. on the electricity. But I've got to tell you that whenever we come back to the U.S., we go to Menards or other places and we stock up on these headlamps that
Yeah.
are now very high lumen, because if you have enough lumens, if you can have a good headlamp, you can do surgery.
Right.
You don't have to have a great big pool of light. You only need enough light to be able to see your theater, your operating field, and those things are literally life-saving. We've distributed them now to our midwives. We have some in the theater, and we have some other places because you just never know.
No.
The other good thing is now most people have cell phones that have flashlights.
Oh yeah, that helps.
Yeah, it helps. But of course, then it drains your battery.
Right.
Yeah.
It sure does.